So today I thought we would finish the week by doing what I said I'd do earlier in the week, and that is to totally and utterly crap all over the new Thundercats. As someone that grew up on Thundercats, I did for a second take a bit of offence, and I was highly critical of what I saw.
This thing.
This doesn't trigger me as much as you think. But keep it in mind, I did send a tweet to Cartoon Network. Feel free to retweet it. I'm like, holy fucking shit, Cartoon Network. Would you stop hiring talentless hacks to make cartoons?
I saw a Twitter thread on this with someone claiming to work for the show, saying that it's not a rip-off of Steven Universe. And I'd never looked at Steven Universe, then looked at it and I was like, you fucking what, mate?
Lion sacks is shit. Well, the thing is, it's basically they're trying to do Teen Titans Go meets Steven Universe, and it's terrible. It's just a horrible idea. And somebody had, on Twitter had been like, well, the original, the show, the second picture, the one where Chitara looks absolutely fap-worthy right
Gorgeous.
there. They point out that would only last a season one. We have to remember that somebody else had explained that Cartoon Network killed it on purpose. They put it in a horrible time slot, and because apparently it was they originally wanted to put it on Adult Swim so that they could be even darker, but nope, none of that. So
I saw a bit of an episode of that Justice League Action Time. My God, Teen Titans Go is better.
Yeah, it's like Teen Titans Go is kind of funny, and then there was the Brave and the Bold, where it was just very silly, Batman and this Super Friends kind of thing. I think that's just a trend that we're just going to have to live with until people get tired of it, where just the silly versions of your favorites is just going to be a thing until one of them flops really horribly. Which might be the Thundercats one might be it.
Red, did you see the man bun shithead that's making that show?
Oh yeah, it's like, oh my god, the soy, holy crap.
So yeah, he hated the original franchise apparently, and he's going, I think I'm going to make it better.
They're explicitly and aggressively saying, we're going to model this after Steven Universe, which was chock full of bullshit social justice.
Yeah, well, I guess what's really bugging me more is, make of this what you will, but I mean the He-Man and the Silverhawks and and G.I. Joe and Thundercats and all that. One thing about them that I think is significant that's been happening to them, and maybe to a little extent to the original Teen Titans, but not really. The older cartoons more so. How to put this bluntly? These were explicitly testosterone-driven shows. These were even the girls were not manly, but basically doing the sort of adventure and danger stuff that boys like. Not that the girls wouldn't watch them, but if you watch like the difference between He-Man and She-Ra, there was a definite tonal difference because of the target audience.
Yeah, and
even though they were produced by the same people, almost literally.
And She-Ra was what sparked the interest in having shows like Gem and the Holograms, because they realized that there were girls that were willing to watch this stuff, so they started making merchandising shows for girls too.
Mostly because I don't watch cartoons these days. I think most of it's utter shit. I did notice that Mim Headroom and The Amazing Atheist made videos on this subject, both of whom made very good points, and I just want to play the best points they made in their videos.
I'm gay, I'm really gay, I'm super duper gay.
Oh no.
Those are some of the most insightful comments I've ever heard in my life. I'll link Mim's below, not TJ's. In any case, I grew up on Thundercats, and I was a huge fan, and I know it was made in response to He-Man. It's that kind of art style that was just so, quite mature for the time, and it certainly withstood the test of time if you look at the appearance of it. It looks better than comics and cartoons now. Thundercats did, I believe, get remade once, and there was talk of a CG version. I don't know if that was ever done or not. If it was, I'll put some of the images on the screen. My favourite character, by the way, was Panthro. And I do think I still have the lion sword from when I was a kid. I think it's in the loft somewhere. I'm that sad. In any case, upon first seeing the image for Thundercats, I remember being on a B-list stream. I will link the stream if you're at all interested in going and watching it. And my first thought was, the arm looks wrong, the art style is lazy, because it's just a rip-off of what I thought the Powerpuff Girls and Steven Universe were, or are, and I'm not particularly fond of either of those cartoons either. A number of people have commented saying it is a huge disservice to Thundercats. I'm not entirely sure if that's true, because this is the state of cartoons as they are in this day. They have progressed like this, and for some reason someone thought, this would be totally wizard. Let's update Thundercats, because they are quite popular. Let's bring them into the 21st century by making them look ridiculous. I can't wait for them to do this to He-Man, Pokemon, and any other cartoon from my youth. I'm sure it's going to go down so bloody well. I did also mention in another video that I thought it would be interesting to see if anyone could crack one off to Cheetara now, because let's face it, damn, the original was good. Although at the time, I believe I was only 1 or 2 years old, so it wasn't so much like that for me then. In any case, with the story, the canon, the original merchandise, you would have thought that the producers would want to honour the memory, as some have argued this does not do. I'm not entirely convinced it doesn't honour the memory, because obviously we've only got a short clip of video to go by. Artistically, that argument does have a fair amount of merit, because there are so many errors with this image alone. For God's sake, the guy's left arm is twisted the wrong way, and look at the hand, it's positioned wrong. It looks like it was drawn by a child. And no matter how much money you spend on something like this, it is quite lazy. For God's sake, I draw better than this. Although I am a reasonably talented cartoon artist, I guess. In the near future, maybe I'll draw something and show you. Now, some of the arts I've seen for this, people have done little images since, saying that you could have done this, are fantastic. Some of the images are, to me, far more respectful than those that we get for this new reboot called Thundercats Raw. Oh, and as a final thing, I'm not entirely sure you want to call something Thundercats when it looks like Thunder Crap, and I had considered humming a melody for that, but I'm far too lazy. So I hope everyone has a lovely weekend, and thank you all for listening to me ramble about how shit the new Thundercats are, but also listening to me ramble on about how lazy this artistic style is, and yet how popular it is because of how lazy it is. Consequences, I guess, everyone.